Welcome back. Please put the names of your group members in the chat. Thanks, Emmeline. Do the groups need a few more minutes, or are you guys ready to go? You guys need some more time, Emmeline? Okay. All right, I'm going to give everybody 5 more minutes just to polish your arguments a bit. So I'm going to try to put you back into your groups here. Give me 1 second. Okay, he's not requesting admission. I can't let him in if I can't see him. Right now, he's not in the waiting room according to my screen. Have him go out and come back in. All right, let's see if I can let you guys choose your room. Okay, there we go. Please rejoin your group. Take a few minutes. If you remember which room you're in, please join that room. I'm going to let you guys, let's see. Hold on a second. Let me see. Emmeline, Jason, Colson. Okay, you guys should be in your group. And Ellie and Liberty. All right, you guys are all, the rest of you are going to end up in one room because you didn't tell me who your groups were.
Ma'am,
Yes.
there is no one in my breakout room. I'm
Let
in
me,
breakout room number 3.
were you talking to Fabian?
No, ma'am, I'm talking to you.
No. I mean, who was in your group?
Oh, okay. No, I can't see him in my group as well.
Okay, so you weren't able to talk to anybody
Ma'am, there was nobody.
before the break. Were you in a group with anyone?
No.
Okay. Sorry about that. I know the Wi-Fi is being crazy.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. If you can work on one on your own, Fabian's having the same problem. I was gonna try to put you guys together. Now he's in there, and you are not. So try rejoining group 3, and maybe you can talk to Fabian for a sec.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. When you're ready, post your argument. Don't tell us what type of appeal you're going for yet, and we'll see if we can determine if you're appealing to our logic, our emotions, or just as you know what you're talking about, or you're a reasonable person. Ethos, pathos, or logos. You're posting.
What if we typed ours? Oops, sorry. What if we typed ours like with the like appeal already in it? Do you want us to like edit it real fast?
If it's not hard, you can. If it is, then you can just leave it.
Okay.
Christian, you're just posting the one that your group created. So whoever in your group wants to post it, that's fine. Once is sufficient.
I shall post it.
Thank you. Interested to see which one you guys chose. Which one do you feel most comfortable with? All right. Kaylee, choose someone in your group to read your argument out loud to us.
Is Alexa there? Sorry, Alexa.
Yes, I can do it.
Thank you.
This appeals an audience by using emotion and values. Abortion has been a huge controversy since it was legalized in 1973. As writers, we can persuade an audience's feeling towards abortion by using real stories about mothers who consider or regretfully went through an abortion. These real stories show a connection between and a mother and child. Using this appeal would assist the writer by tapping into the reader's emotions. And I also added my part to the our group about why arguments don't always have to end in wars and stuff like that too.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry, I had a little typo. That was supposed to be A, not and.
Okay. So arguments are necessary for critical thinking, communication of your needs or what irritates you. For resolution, yeah, advancements in subjects or topics. You can change others' opinions, whereas if you're warring with them, right, you don't tend to change their opinion if they're angry, because they're going to cling to their position if they feel like losing is losing instead of losing is winning. Yeah, I agree. Okay, good job, guys. Yeah, I like the way you use the emotional appeal for the abortion argument. Yeah, because that would be an effective component of any argument that you use to make us see how the issue affects real people, right? Okay, excellent. Next group. Fabian. We use argumentation to support and shape ideas in addition to persuading and convincing others of what we think or believe. Good arguments involve giving reasons that support a conclusion and a bias, and it is the rational and intellectual way to persuade the reader. Okay. So what kind of appeal do you think they're using with this argument? Are they using an appeal to logic, an appeal to emotions, or appeal as reasonable people? Put your answer in the chat. Yeah. Okay, Fabian, I'll type it in the chat. What are they using? Arguments support and shape ideas, persuade and convince others. Good arguments involve giving reasons that support a conclusion and a bias. It's the rational and intellectual way to persuade a reader. Just take a guess and then we can discuss what appeal that you think they're using. Yeah, this is their argument. Sorry, I cut off your first word. Mary, what kind of appeal do you think they're using? Colson, what do you think?
Hold on.
Let's rule some things out. Are they trying to appeal to emotion?
No, I don't
Right?
think so.
I don't think so either. So that leaves us an appeal to logic or an appeal to our ability to, our trustworthiness, basically, how much we trust them. Which one would you lean toward if I gave you a choice between the two?
Logos.
Say it again, Colton.
Logos.
Yeah, I think they're using logic.
Yeah.
Right? Their arguments sound reasonable. They're explaining what they mean. supporting how it works. But let's ask Fabian and Anurag, which appeal were you going for in your argument? Not sure they can hear me. We lost them. All right, we're going to give them a couple minutes to answer. Let's go ahead and look at Jason's argument. I'm going to repost it here. All right. Arguments can help us understand varying perspectives. Wait, did I copy the right one? Hold on. Okay, yeah. Is homework helpful or harmful for testing, strengthening, and reinforcing concepts? Then it is. Even if you're very familiar with the material, that just means that you can go through the homework quickly. So regardless, you're not really losing anything by doing homework. Without arguments, I think everyone would have a relatively skewed approach to a lot of topics since their information is limited. All right. So their appeal is that arguments give us more perspectives than our own, right? And they use the example of homework. So on the one hand, it's helpful for reinforcing skills. Even if you feel like you've got the material mastered and you don't need a test, right? So that's addressing the other side of the argument, which I like. So regardless, you're not really losing anything by doing homework. So essentially without arguments, everyone would have a skewed approach. What do you mean by a skewed approach, guys? A skewed approach to arguing?
Maybe it means like we talked about having better know a certain topic, like maybe you know history more than you know math.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe you're better at that topic than the other topic.
Like what I mean is, like, if you have limited information on a subject and you're talking about it, then like you're not really gonna, like, what is it, like,
Maybe you're more comfortable with the topic than just getting it thrown at you. Is that what we're trying to say?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
maybe someone likes history more than math,
like
so they're more comfortable talking about history.
like you're not gonna talk about math effectively if you're not really like that familiar with it.
That makes sense.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
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 Okay. So, guys, if you look at this, what kind of appeal do you think their group is using? Emmeline, what do you think? Andre, do you have an opinion?
Opinion on the
Kind of appeal, are they appealing to logic? Are they appealing to emotions? Are they appealing as knowledgeable people?
I'd say more like logic.
Okay, we're feeling logic. I think their argument makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jason, what kind of appeal were you guys going for?
I was going for logic when I came up with that. So
I think that makes sense.
I think that's it. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm too tired to articulate myself. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's what I was going for. I think that's the only conclusion you can come to, because I wasn't really trying to like say, oh, I'm such and such, so I'm credible, or oh, you should do this because you feel bad. I think that's the only conclusion. So
yeah, so you didn't appeal to emotions. You appealed using an example, working out the logic of the example. Yeah.
Yep.
So it looks like people are most comfortable with either appealing to emotions or appealing to logic. So let's look at how you would appeal to, and it might be a little tougher to appeal to ethos, but you can borrow experts to help you. So what you could do is borrow what he says in the video, right? If you wanted to use the ethical appeal, you could say, according to him, that, and then quote something that he said in the video. All the TED Talks have transcripts, by the way, if you wanted to do that. Okay. And quote why he says it's useful. So that would be using an ethos appeal or an expert appeal. Or you could also use your personal experience to indicate that you don't get very far with arguing like war, right? You don't persuade people that way. But then maybe you've had a different experience where you needed to persuade someone and you're able to do that by being less like a war and more like a conversation. What did you think of what he said? Do you think we need to shift the way we think about argument? Ellie, what do you think?
I mean, like as a society, I think some people are really stuck in their own ways. So they need to like think about other opinions and the other side. But some ways I think it's okay if we stick to how we think about it.
Yeah, I think, we can get stuck in our own perspective sometime. And then if you do look at it only as winning as if your side prevails, then you can't let other information in, or it means you're losing, which is why I kind of find his perspective interesting, right? That we think of winning an argument is not taking in any new information and just sticking with what we already knew. And he sees it winning if he gets more information and comes to a different perspective on it. But is that the way our society is set up? How competitive is society? What do you guys think? Are we competitive people? Many of you are athletes. Are you competitive?
Yes, we are competitive.
Andrea, you are? I think we all are kind of to a degree, so if we think about argument as war, then we can't help but getting sucked into that sort of competitive spirit. So you can't think of it as sort of a battle like he's saying, or you will automatically, sort of default to, I have to win this by not moving off my position. Does that make sense? So that might be one reason not to think of argument as war. I don't know, do you guys ever see them arguing in Congress about things? It seems like argument is war. It doesn't seem as much about argument to convince the other side and come to some sort of consensus that can be put into the form of legislation. I worry about this, right? That's why I present this idea to you guys in the hopes that in the future, your generation perhaps can do a better job with argument than we are doing currently. Something to consider.
Oh, well, definitely not.
It's just like a different way to think about it. I wish we weren't so polarized as a society, but it's hard to move people off of that. But talking about things like this is one of the ways that you can do it, asking them to consider new ideas. All right, good job, guys. So keep thinking about, as you're doing more research on your position, right? How you're going to appeal to emotions, maybe using stories or descriptions. So what is the emotional component of your topic? Ask yourself that. The emotional aspect of your controversy. That way, when you're reading through the research, you can be on the lookout for things that you think will engage people's emotions. Like, I use online education a lot. Somebody give me another controversy they're working on. We'll see if we can work out the emotional side of it. You may want some help with it. What's your controversy? Trying to remember what everybody's doing. We already had the good example with abortion, right? Appealing to women who have to make a very difficult decision, and how that makes them feel and the effects that it has on them, right? Why can I not remember anybody's topics this morning? What else? Oh, who's doing, was it Mars, putting a base on Mars, or is it traveling to Mars? She is not here. Oh, Jeannie, you're doing it? Okay. So what do you think the emotional side is about space travel? What can engage our emotions, guys? Help her out when we consider the idea of like colonizing Mars. How could you appeal to people's emotions? What are the feelings associated with space travel? Yes, yeah. The downsides would be like, aren't they saying it takes like 7 years to get there? Something like that. Yeah, and that's just one way, right? That'd be just basically not seeing your family for over a decade. Probably more like a one-way, living there kind of trip. Not sure we can Zoom from Mars. What's the flip side? What are the positive feelings associated with space travel? Alexa, do you think there's anything cool about space travel? Oh, we're about to end one. Let me go ahead and end this session and we'll come right back and I'll ask you. Yeah, new exploration. Okay, well, hold that thought. Let me start a new session.